Welcome to Winter BarCamp. We are back. So this is our first ever Winter BarCamp. We had fun in September with all of you that were able to make it back then, where we had our BarCamp Manchester 10 virtual. Now we are moving to have another one. We have a bonus winter event because, let's be honest, all the reasons that we had to go virtual in September still apply. America's falling over. Lots is going on in the world, so we thought we'd just bring you back a bonus event. Let's just switch over to full screen. Boom, welcome. So, first of all, welcome back everyone. Secondly, I just want to say a huge thank you to our sponsors, Paul and Martin. They've been long-time sponsors of BarCamp for a few years now, and yeah, they genuinely make a real contribution to us. We couldn't do it without them. So thank you massively to both of you. Huge cheers for you. Woo! Even virtual events aren't completely cost-free. We upgraded or boosted our Discord server to try and improve the quality that you get and all those things. So their help is greatly appreciated. I also want to give a big shout out to my fellow co-organizer Chris, who did the grid and that we'll be using today and set up all the Discord. All the technical stuff is all thanks to Chris's hard work. Also, big shout out to our other organizer Claire, who is our social media whiz. You'll see the hashtag Winter BarCamp at the bottom. Go ahead, tweet about how great the event is, share your experiences using that hashtag, and we can all just make people jealous about how much fun we're having and maybe even attract some people to join us. It's a free event. There is nothing stopping people joining throughout the day. So, what is BarCamp? So for those of you that have not been to one before, BarCamp is an unconference event. Essentially, no one's had to submit an abstract to request to speak. We've not put the schedule together beforehand. It's all done on the day, so in about 12 minutes at 10:45 UK time, because we might have friends from around the world, at 10:45 AM UK time, the grid will open, so you can start to submit talks. You can talk about whatever you want, as long as it doesn't go against our code of conduct, so keep it family friendly. We've had some amazing range of talks in the past, from cooking tutorials, doll houses, stories of writing a book, watching videos on robots, balloon animals. Yeah, you name it, we've had it. Balloon animals, obviously, of course, was done in real life, but the point is that you can talk about whatever you want. If you've got something you want to share or you've got a discussion that you want to have, come do it with us. If you've ever thought about giving a talk for the first time, come hang out with us. This is a good spot to do it. We also have this idea of vote with your feet. So if you pop into a talk and it's not what you're expecting, or you're curious about another talk, that's okay. You can just drop out and drop back in. We'll go through the technicals in a minute. But yeah, essentially, you're not forced to stay into a talk once you've joined. As an attendee, if you want to then move along, you can. Again, you don't have to speak. You can just be an attendee. You can be just a speaker. You can be both. It's all about making the event what we want it to be, which is what makes it so much fun. So how does it work? So, as I mentioned, we are using Discord this year. So if I just jump onto Discord now, get over. So this is our Discord. You can see we have the different channels. Look, you're famous, woo! But yeah, so we've got the different channels. So this year we've got rooms, and all the rooms are named after winter-related things, because if you've been to any of our bar camps before, you know that we always like to name our rooms after a theme. The last in real life event that we had, we themed it after famous women in technology like Ada Lovelace and all that. But yeah, so I think in the past we've had some really fun ones. But yes, this year in BarCamp, Winter BarCamp, named after winter things. So we've got skis, scarf and sledge, and snowman, because there's lots of places. So the way it will work is there's the tech check channel. So if you've got any problems, you can, or you want to just make sure things work, you can jump into tech check. There's also the general video chat. So if you want to, in between sessions, you want to sit and talk to somebody, we'll just have a chat with people, you can go in there and turn your video on. You can turn your video on even in the individual rooms. It's not compulsory, but we do encourage it, because just by having people's cameras on, those that are speaking and also those that are attending, it just feels a little bit more real, and like you're a bit less sat behind the screen on your own. So each session will be, I believe it's 25 minutes long. If you're the speaker for an event, you'll be able to share your voice and your screen in the channel. Attendees can't do this, of course, I believe. So there's limits to what, there's a differentiator in each channel, essentially, between a speaker and an attendee. You won't be able to join until a couple of minutes before the session starts, and towards the end of your session, you will get dropped out, just to clear things out for each person, like you would in real life. You know, you leave a room and come back, or change rooms or what have you. So that's kind of the technical side of things. Go back to oh, that's not what I wanted. We're joining the wrong. Honestly, Windows shortcuts, eh? That's how it works. So what's that annoying beep? So one of the things, let's pop back to Discord actually, one of the things that people complain about sometimes or mention is that they hear strange noises quite frequently, like beeping noises in Discord, and that is to do with your notification settings. So this is the Discord app on Windows, but it's also the same on Mac. You'll see at the bottom here, you've got user settings. If you click user settings and then go to notifications on the left, and scroll down, you'll see sounds. So there's certain events that will trigger sounds, so deafen and undeafen. That's to do with if someone just mutes everything, so not just themselves, but actually turns off the noise on the channel that they're in. Of course, user join and user leave are ones that come up quite a lot, as well as mute and unmute. So if you're getting irritated by these beeps that you don't understand happening during the event, just go into these settings and turn off these notification sounds, and then you'll be able to just concentrate on the content. And then one day, so for those of you who don't know, that's it's from the grid from Tron Legacy. So the idea is that we have a grid. So in a few minutes, the grid will go live. It may even be live now, actually, if we go. So if you just go to can't do it yet. We don't want anyone to enter talks yet, but it might be live for me. No, that's okay. Essentially what will happen is at 10:45 the grid will open. You will be able to access the grid. Chris has posted, if you go to barcampmanchester.co.uk, Chris has posted a really great video that shows you how to do it. But essentially the grid is a page where you can create a box, drag it onto the grid at the time slot you want in the room/track that you want it to be in. And that's how you associate it. You can have discussion type talks where other people can speak and you can just talk about things together. You can have a talk by yourself, or you can even have co-speakers. So you can register other people here as, you know, people, because sometimes giving talks together is fun. In just under a year ago, I gave a talk in London that was actually with a friend, so that was fun. But yes, if you want a recap of kind of the technology, how it works, how the grid works and things, it's all here on the homepage of BarCamp. I need help. So, as I mentioned, there is the tech check channel. So if you want to check that your things work, you can go into tech check. There is as well, though, the @volunteer. So Chris, Claire and myself are marked as volunteers on Discord. So if you just @volunteer for any issues that you've got, we'll be notified and we'll be able to just jump in and help you, whether it's during your talk, in between, because it's not just speakers that have questions, attendees do as well. But we are absolutely here to help you. So that's awesome. They've not got any questions so far, by the way. Just move over here. Not so far. Let's have a look. I have too many windows open. There we go. Yeah, okay, so no questions so far. But of course, if you've got any questions, drop them in the Discord. At us at volunteer if you're worried that we're not going to see it fast enough. We're here to help you essentially. So that's the kind of admin stuff out the way. As I said, in 4 minutes at 10:45 UK time, the grid will open at online.barcampmanchester.co.uk. The link will get dropped in the Discord. As I mentioned before, there's no prerogative to speak. There's no obligation. You can just be an attendee. If you want to speak, that's great. You're welcome to. We do encourage people to turn video on when they're joining a talk. Even if you don't say anything, it just makes it feel a bit more real and feels all connected, because we spent a lot of time not seeing anyone much in this past year, haven't we? I mean, for me, I live alone. I've been lucky that I've been able to form a support bubble with my parents because I live alone. And so I saw them for a week at Christmas and a week in October. But apart from that, I've not seen anyone in nearly a year. So, for me, I'm going to put my video on today because it's just fun to feel connected to people. If you want, do take time in the Discord to interact, to chat to people, to make friends. There's people here from all over the country and the globe, and it's a good chance to make friends. Introduce yourselves. I've already done the intro about who I am, but it's just fun to get to know each other. After the event, things will carry on. There might not necessarily be any official talks, but there will be we will continue social games potentially. I believe in the past we've done online werewolf, which, if you don't know, I'm sure we can convince Mark, Shane, or somebody to do a "What is werewolf? How does it work?" talk later on. Might also be, I've got Jackbox Party Pack 6, which has things like Trivia Murder Party, so we can possibly all do that together. Yeah, essentially, BarCamp is what we make it, so let's all just get together, have some fun, and have an amazing winter BarCamp. Woo! And now we will switch over to Discord. I will end this stream and we're going to switch over to Discord. You have 2 minutes before the grid opens. The grid doesn't close itself at any point during the day, so if you suddenly get inspiration from a talk that you see or something later on, it's not too late to go and fill in the grid. There's also no obligation now to fill in the grid, so if you've not got an idea but you think you might have one later, or whatever reason, don't. Of course, it's always great to get talks in early, get some slots in at 11 when we begin. There will also be a lunch break later on, so don't think that you're forced to sit at your desk all day watching these amazing talks, but there will be a break, so don't worry about that. And with that, I am going to bid you much love and farewell, and we will begin BarCamp. Woo!